Going live? Your screen with your audience. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. I am so sorry. I apologize. I had major technical issues, but because I am dedicated and I'm committed and I am trustworthy and loyal, I am going to do this live, whether I have some consumers on the other end or not. But you can always watch the replay. So, again, um, let me introduce myself. I am Annette, your trusted godmother of mortgage lending loan officer. This live was originally scheduled to take place at 6 p.m., but unfortunately, I had some technical issues. But I will definitely put this information out so you, as the consumer, can be educated on what you should do and how you should proceed, or if stand still where you are. So, again, we're going to be covering tonight, is refinancing worth it? So, if you are out there and you were patiently waiting for me, if you are on the live, please drop in the comment where you are viewing from. I would greatly appreciate it. And in addition to that, I would also like for you to drop a Y in the comment if you think refinancing is your best option today, or an N for no if you think it's not worth you doing a refinance. So I'll wait a couple of seconds. I already know I'm late, but we're not going to harp on the lateness. We're going to just value the information that I have to present to you today. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're 2 minutes in, and our conversation today is going to be about refinancing. Is it best for you to do right now, especially since the rates have dropped? So, refinancing your mortgage, can it be worth it or is it not worth it? But whether it makes sense for you depends on your financial goals, your current mortgage rate and terms, how long you plan to stay in your home. All of those are factors that you as an individual have to consider or should consider. Now, I will put this disclaimer out there that just as no two person have the same fingerprint, no two-person have the same financial portfolio. So what might not be best for Uncle Jojo may be best for you, or vice versa. So with that said, is refinancing is refinancing best for you? And the answer could be yes or it could be no. But for the most of you, if you really sit back and assess your situation, the answer is yes, especially if you have equity in your home. One is a lot of consumers are fixated on the low interest rate that they currently have right now, 4, 5, 3, 2%. But what good is that rate if you still have high interest credit debt, credit cards, student loans, car payments, you name it, you have it. So that means, is your current 5% or below really 5%? When you analyze it and you do a totality of all the percentage that you are paying, no, it's not. You're not at 5%. You're in a double digit like everybody else. So with refinancing right now, and with the way the rates are, if you're straddling the fence on whether you should or you shouldn't, I really encourage you to do a deep dive into what your liabilities are outgoing, and do it on paper with pencil, so that you can actually see how much of percentage interest rate that you are actually paying outward. So if you are at 5% or below, but you still are struggling or have challenges, I'll use that word, with the other financial obligations that you have outgoing, now is the perfect time for you to consider refinancing, going over all your high credit debts in addition to your mortgage debt, to consolidate all of those debts into one monthly low payment. Now, with that said, in taking advantage of refinancing, you're lowering your interest rate. One of the most common reasons to refinance is to secure a lower interest rate. And that lower interest rate is the totality of the whole picture of the interest rates you are paying. So if you have a 5% interest rate, but you have a 18.99% on this card, you have a 24.99% on this card, you have a 32.99% on this card, you have a 12% interest rate on this card. When you add all of those percentage up and you do an average of what your actual monthly outgoing payments are you really saving? No, you're not. If you're honest with yourself, no, you're not. But that's not my call, that's your call. So it can even reduce half of if you even reduce your interest rate by a half of a point, you could have significant savings. And I'm going to give you an example at the end of this live. Even a reduction of a half a percentage can lead to significant savings over the life of the loan. Lower rates also mean smaller monthly payments. Now, instead of you having 4 or 5 different payments that you have outgoing, now you have one payment, freeing up cash for other expenses or investments. The next thing is why you should refinance is shortening the term of your loan. If you want to pay off your mortgage faster, refinancing from a 30-year to a 15-year loan can help drastically. It will reduce the life of the loan and it will reduce the monthly payment of the loan. It won't reduce the monthly payment, but it will reduce the life of the loan. While the monthly payments may be higher, you'll save significantly on the total interest paid, and you build equity faster just from reducing it from a 30 to a 15. If you feel that you can handle that monthly payment, because the monthly payment is going to be higher. But if you want to shorten the term of your loan, that's the journey or the avenue or the path that is suggested that you would take. The next is accessing your equity. Now, you may want to do some renovations. You may want to do a debt consolidation. You may want to add on to your home. You may want to even just do whatever you want to do with the equity that you have in your home. Through a cash out refinance, you can tap into the equity you've built in your home. This can be useful for consolidating high interest debts, making home improvements, or covering large expenses. However, it's important to use this option wisely since it increases your loan balance. So that means your payment is going to start over and your term is going to start over. So if you do a cash out refinance, which you should do if you have a lot of high credit debt and you have the equity in your home, now is the time for you to refinance, reset, realign, and reposition yourself so that now instead of you having challenges, especially in today's economy, with meeting whatever obligations you have, now you have that security, because now instead of paying 5 different people, you'll just be paying one loan, one person. Reducing monthly payments. Extending your loan term during refinancing can lower your monthly payments, which may provide relief if you're facing financial strain. Key. The trade-off is paying more interest over time. So it's best for homeowners who need immediate budget flexibility. So if you have high, and I'm going to keep harping on this, if you have high credit debt, your 5, your 4, your 3, your 2%, it's not even 2 or that number. Because when you do the totality of all the percentage plus all the monthly payments, you're not really saving. You just keep straining financially to meet those payments. Costs and break-even points. Refinancing isn't free. It's not free. You'll typically, pay closing costs ranging from 2 to 5% of the loan amount. So to determine if refinancing is worth it, calculate your break-even point, the time it takes for the savings from the refinance to outweigh the upfront costs. If you plan to stay in your home beyond that point, refinancing makes sense. What is that saying? If you plan on being in your home for the next 5 years, you're not planning on moving right now in the next 5 years, and you have equity in your home, and you have high credit debt, refinancing is worth it for you. The bottom line, refinancing can be an excellent financial move if it lowers your costs, helps you achieve long-term goals, or provides financial flexibility. But it's not always the right choice. Carefully compare your current mortgage with the new terms. Factor in closing costs and consider how long you plan to remain in your home before deciding to refinance. Now, I know that was like a lot, or maybe it was not enough information for you at all, but here is the example. So I'm going to read it. I'm just going to read my example that I wrote out for you to even ponder or consider if refinancing is for you. So refinancing from a 7.2% to a 6% on a $300,000 loan only saves you $200 a month. Saving $200 a month might not seem huge, but the key is whether those savings cover your refinance costs within the next 3 years. If it does, then now is the time for you to refinance. It's worth it. You also might drop private mortgage insurance and be able to roll in your fees into the loan. Remember, $200 a month is $2,400 a year. Or if on a larger loan, you'll be saving even more. So my suggestion to you, if you are debating or if you need clarity on whether you should proceed or whether you shouldn't proceed on refinancing your current mortgage, give me a call. And we can run the numbers and see, and you make this decision on whether or not if refinancing is worth it for you. My contact number is 854-500-1108. Again, that number is 854-500-1108. So now when you give me a call, what we're going to do is set up an appointment. So we can do a 15-minute analysis of all of your outgoing liabilities versus your current rate compared to what the rate would be if you decide to move forward with refinancing your home. Again, consider if this is the right move, especially if you're going to remain in the home for the next 5 years. If your closing costs can be absorbed, or you can see that you have leveled out that within the next 3 years, then refinancing right now is worth it for you. I thank you for taking the time out to watch this live video. And if you're watching the replay, feel free to drop a comment in the comment section and I will reply to your comment. In the comment section is my Calendly link. So if you want to schedule an appointment, click the link and schedule an appointment so we can run your numbers and give you a better vision of your future journey financially. And to take care of you financially, I greatly would like the opportunity to do just that, to give you a better position, to realign, to reassess, and to reposition you for a stress-free financial future. I thank you for watching. Bye for now.